Have you ever looked at a MacBook and wondered, how did they make this? It's a beautiful piece of technology. It feels solid and sleek. Millions of people use these laptops every single day for work, for school, and for fun. The reason they feel so well made is because they are built with incredible precision. This process doesn't happen by magic. It happens in massive, highly organized factories. These factories are like giant, complex workshops where raw materials are transformed piece by piece into the powerful computers we know and love. It's a fascinating journey from a block of metal to a finished product. The story of every MacBook begins long before the factory floor. It starts as a design on a computer. Engineers and designers spend thousands of hours planning every detail. They decide where each chip goes, how the keyboard should feel, and how thin the screen can be. Once the design is perfect, the real-world manufacturing can begin. The chosen materials are shipped to the factory. We're talking about huge quantities of aluminum, glass, silicon, and other elements. These are the fundamental building blocks. This initial stage is all about preparation, getting everything ready for the amazing assembly line that will bring the digital blueprint to life. These factories are some of the most advanced in the world. They are filled with custom-built robots and highly skilled workers. The entire process is a dance between machine and human. Robots do the heavy lifting and the super precise tasks that are too difficult for a human hand. Workers then step in for the delicate jobs that require a human touch and judgment. This combination is what makes the mass production of such a complex device possible. Every single step is carefully planned and timed to ensure that thousands of MacBooks can be built efficiently every single day without sacrificing quality. So why go to all this trouble? Why this obsession with detail? Because that's what makes a MacBook a MacBook. The goal is to create a device that is not only powerful, but also reliable and beautiful to use. The manufacturing process is a core part of that promise. From the moment the raw materials enter the factory doors to the final polish, every stage is about quality control and precision. It's a myth that these things just pop out of a machine. The reality is a symphony of engineering, logistics, and skilled craftsmanship on an epic scale. Let's dive in and see how it's done. The first and most iconic part of a MacBook is its metal body. This is called the unibody enclosure. It starts as a solid block of aluminum alloy. This isn't just any aluminum. It's a special blend chosen for its strength and light weight. The block is placed into a giant machine called a CNC mill. A CNC, which stands for Computer Numerical Control, is a robot that carves the metal. Following the computer's design, it carefully cuts away excess aluminum, hollowing out the block to create the main shape of the laptop. This process creates the space for the keyboard, trackpad, and all the internal components. Once the main body is carved, it's not finished yet. The surface is still rough from the machine. The next step is all about making it smooth and beautiful. The aluminum shell goes through a series of finishing processes. It is blasted with tiny beads to give it a consistent matte texture. This is what stops it from being shiny and prone to fingerprints. After that, it undergoes a process called anodization. The body is dipped into a chemical bath, and an electric current is passed through it. This creates a hard, durable, and corrosion-resistant layer on the surface, which also gives it its signature silver or space gray color. While the body is being made, other parts are being prepared in different areas of the factory. The screen, for example, is a complex sandwich of layers. It includes the LCD or LED panel that creates the image, polarizers, diffusers to spread the light evenly, and a strong glass cover. These layers are carefully bonded together in a clean room environment. Even a single speck of dust could ruin a screen, so the air is filtered to be cleaner than in a hospital operating room. The batteries, which are flat lithium-ion polymer cells, are also manufactured and tested separately to ensure they are safe and hold a proper charge. The brains of the MacBook are all on the logic board. This is a green circuit board you might have seen inside other electronics. Tiny robotic arms work at incredible speeds to place all the essential components onto this board. We're talking about the main processor, the M-series chip, the memory, and the storage. These components are minuscule. The robots apply a solder paste and then place the chips with pinpoint accuracy. The entire board then passes through an oven, which melts the solder and permanently fixes the components in place. This board is the central nervous system of the entire machine. Now we have all the main parts, the finished unibody, the screen assembly, the logic board, and the battery. It's time to bring them all together. This stage is called final assembly, and it's where human workers play a crucial role. The assembly line is long and organized. Each worker has a specific task to perform. The first step is often to install the logic board into the carved-out aluminum chassis. Workers use special electric screwdrivers that are calibrated to apply the exact right amount of torque. Too loose, and it might rattle. Too tight, and it could damage the board. Next come the other internal components. A worker carefully places the battery into its designated compartment and connects its delicate cable to the logic board. Then the cooling system, which includes small fans and copper heat pipes, is installed over the processor to keep it from getting too hot during use. Other parts like the speakers, microphones, and various connecting ports are also screwed into place. All the tiny, flexible ribbon cables that connect these parts to the logic board are painstakingly attached by hand using tweezers and specialized tools. It's like building a very complex and expensive puzzle. One of the most satisfying steps is joining the screen to the body. This is a critical moment. The screen assembly is brought to the chassis, and its hinges are carefully aligned and screwed into the main body. The worker then connects the display and camera cables to the logic board. This step requires a steady hand to ensure the connection is secure. After this, the MacBook finally starts to look like a laptop. The keyboard and trackpad assembly, which is often pre-built as a single module, is then fitted into the top case and connected. Every single screw and connector is double-checked. As the MacBook moves down the line, more and more pieces are added. The bottom cover is finally attached and screwed on, enclosing all the amazing technology inside. Throughout this entire process, there are checkpoints. Scanners track each unit by its serial number. At various points, automated cameras and sensors will check the work of the previous station. If a screw is missing or a cable is not seated correctly, an alert will sound, and the unit will be set aside for a human inspector to fix. This continuous checking prevents mistakes from piling up and ensures every unit is built to the same high standard. Once a MacBook is fully assembled, it might look finished, but it's far from ready. Now it must survive the most important stage testing. Every single MacBook is put through a series of automated diagnostic tests. It's plugged into a testing rig, and special software runs checks on every component. The software tests the processor, the memory, and the storage drive to make sure they are working at full speed. It verifies that every port, from the USB-C to the headphone jack, can connect and transfer data correctly. The Wi-Fi and Bluetooth radios are also tested for signal strength and stability. The testing doesn't stop there. The screen is checked for any dead pixels or brightness inconsistencies. A camera looks at the display as it cycles through different colors, flagging any imperfections that a human eye might miss. The keyboard is tested by a machine that presses every single key to ensure it registers correctly. The trackpad is tested for its responsiveness and for multi-touch gestures. Even the speakers and microphones are tested by playing specific sounds and recording them to check for clarity and distortion. Any device that fails even one of these tiny tests is sent back for repair. After passing the software and hardware diagnostics, the MacBook gets its final touches. A worker gives the device a final inspection under a bright light, looking for any cosmetic flaws like scratches or smudges on the aluminum body or the screen. If it passes this visual inspection, it gets a final polish with a microfiber cloth. The operating system, Mac OS, is then installed onto the storage drive. This is a clean installation, ready for the new owner to set up for the first time. The device is now officially a complete working MacBook, ready to be packaged. The final step is boxing it all up. The pristine MacBook is placed into a protective sleeve and then carefully set into its iconic white box. The accessories, like the charging cable and power adapter, are placed in their own neat compartments. The instruction manuals and warranty information are added, and the box is sealed. A machine then wraps the box in clear plastic, keeping it safe and clean. These boxes are then packed into larger shipping cartons, loaded onto pallets, and sent from the factory to distribution centers around the globe. From there, they make their final journey to an Apple store or directly to your doorstep.